Yeah, hi all. Yeah, next topic is simplification and approximation. So, what is simplification and what is approximation here? Like simplification is nothing but reducing the expression in a singular form. Like you can use your plus or addition or subtraction, multiplication, division, etc. And approximation is like we have to write the like nearest value, which is exact exact గా రాయనక్కర్లేదు, but we can write the nearest value, right? And yeah, how can we supposed to solve the simplification equations? So we know in our childhood we learn about v bottoms, right? So v for vernaculum, okay. Let's suppose if let's suppose 2 plus 3 whole bar. So in this case there is a bar, right? So this is called vernaculum. First of all, we have to give priority to these kind of things, and second one is like a braces. Braces, we have a curly brace and flower brace and square brace also. And after that, of order, like any squares, any powers we have to give the priority to that. And then division, multiplication, and then addition and subtraction, right? We can use this v bottom. Hope you already aware of this, because we already learned in our childhood, like maybe class 6 or somewhere, right? Yeah. So first of all, if we have to follow this structure, like first we have to solve v nucleus and then remove the brackets and then solve the division, multiplication, etc. See here, I gave the example, right? 48.99 into cube root of 342.81, which is divided by 6.99 whole square plus 12.99 whole square is equal to x. So how do we supposed to solve this kind of questions? So we know we bought must, we can directly solve that. But before that, we have to read the questions properly. First of all, see here they mentioned approximate, right? So we can't do reduce this kind of expression like it is in decimal format, like kind of a difficult. But in this question, they gave a hint called approximate. So we can write these values to the nearest value. Okay, one second. Yeah, here see 48.9, and what is the nearest value? It's a 49, right? The same way, cube root of 342.81, we can directly say 343 whole power of 1 by 3, right? And which is divided by 6. What is 6 nearest value to 6.99, which is 7, right? 7 square. And the same way 12.99, nearest value is 13, so 13 square, which is equal to x. So now we can easily solve, right? 49 into cube root of 343 is nothing but it's a 7. 7 square 14, and 14 is a 343, right? So the cube root of 343 is 7. So and which is divided by 7 square. So yeah, one second. Yeah, so the 7 square is 49, and the same way plus 13 square. 13 square is nothing but it's 169. So here, yeah, is equal to x. So now this is a very simplified equation, right? So we can directly solve. In this we have to consider the symbols. So we have to give priority to the division first of all, right? 6 like if you solve the 7 divided by 14, which is like a 7 1 is 7, 7 7 is 49, so 1 by 7 plus 169. We can write above equation like this, right? So yeah. And after that we have to give priority to the multiplication. So after, so once you solve, you will get cancel each other, the 7 and 14 will cancel, and you will get 7, and then plus 169, you will get answer as a 176. So in this way you can use your approximation method as well as simplification method. You can directly solve. Hope it's clear. Yeah, moving forward, and our next topic is surds and indices. Yeah, first we will learn about surds, and then we'll go to the indices. Okay. So what is surds actually? Surds are square root values that cannot be simplified into rational numbers. Let's suppose if you consider root 2, root 3, we cannot convert those values into rational numbers, right? Because it won't be terminate after a decimal point. And types of surds are like we have two types. One is pure and mixed. Like coming to the pure surds, like let's if as a if a surd having only unity as a like a rational factor. Let's suppose if you consider root 2, What are the factors for root 2? 1 and root 2, right? 1 is a rational factor and root 2 is a irrational factor. And if you consider root 3, so root 3 is irrational because it won't terminate after a decimal point. It will continue, so on, right? So if you, what are the factors for root 3? 1 and root 3. So 1 is a irrational factor and root 3 is a irrational factor. If any given surd is having only 1 as a rational factor, then given surd is a pure surds. And mixed surds is a combination of rational and irrational. Let's say suppose I'm writing the examples, right? 2 root 3 and 5 root 3 here, and you can consider negative values also, minus 2 root over 7. So basically it's a, if one factor of a surd is a rational number and another factor is a irrational number, then such given surd is called a mixed surd, right? So here let's, and coming to the pure surds, if there is a combination of root over x, like x may be any value. See, in the above mixed surds I just mentioned, right, 2 as irrational and root 3 as irrational. It's like a combination. But in the pure surds, it having only a irrational one. So then such surds we call it as a pure surds. You can also write the combination like root 5 plus root 3, like so on, etc. Root 5 plus root 5, anything. Root 5 plus root 7, anything we can write. Okay, if this, it has only a one as a rational factor and remaining as all are like irrational factors. If you see those kind of combination, that is called a pure surds. And how can we solve the arithmetic operations for surds? Okay, addition or subtraction or multiplication or division. How can we do? Let's take example. Like let's take 5 root 2 and plus if you take any number like 20 or root 2, 20 root 2. Okay, so how can, and you can add any other numbers also, like minus 3 root 2. Okay, so if you see these kind of equations, we don't know how to solve this. So how can we solve these kind of things? Because in the given equation there are root 2 values. So how we can solve these kind of questions is, first of all we need to find the common factors. Okay, then we can take the common out, and then we can solve the remaining equation, and then we can, after that we can multiply that. Understood? Now tell me, what is the common element in this given equation? One second. Yeah, sorry, excuse me. What is the common factor here? Common element here, root 2, right? If we take out the common, the root 2, then what we left with? 5 plus 20 minus 3, right? Like what is 5 plus 20 minus 3? It's 25 minus 3, which means 22, right? 22 root 2. So this is the this is the way we can do the addition. The same way subtraction also, like you may see combination of addition and subtraction like this example. Okay, you can solve these like this. And let's take another example like root over 4 45 minus 3 root over 20 plus 4 root over 5. So how can we solve these kind of questions? In this question we don't have any common factor, right? So then how can we solve this kind of questions? Just observe in this question, we can solve like if 45 we can write it as a 9 5s of 45, right? So in that root 5 is there. In the same way root over 20 we can write it as a 5 4s, right? So now if you solve this way, so you can able to you can find there is a common point like root 5. So then you can take out that root 5 and then you can directly solve that question. Okay, let's take let's solve this. So root over 45 we can call it as 9 into root 5. So root over 9 is 3, and then that's why I wrote root over 5 minus 3 root over 20, so 4 into 5. Root over 4 is the 2, right? So that's why you can directly write 2 3 the 6, and then we left with root 5 and then 4 root 5. Now we can see there is a common thing in the equation, that is root 5. So if we take out the root 5, we left with 3 minus 6 plus 4, which means 7 minus 6, which means 1. So if 1 into root 5, we will get root over 5. Now moving next, the next one is multiplying and multiplication and dividing of surds. Let's take example uh, root 4 into, let's take root over 22. Okay, how can we solve this question? So we can directly multiply, right? We can write the single square root and we can multiply both the values. 4 into 22, which means root over 88. In the same way we can do for multi division also. Let's take example like let's suppose 3 root over 2 divided by let's take any value like root over 9. Okay, how can we solve this question? So here in root over 9 we can, it's like a 3 square and square and root over cancel, or we will have a 3, right? And 3 on numerator also we are having 3. The 3 cancel each other and we are left with root 2. Correct? Yeah. Hope it's clear. So now I'm moving forward. Indices. So indices are numeric values that act as a power or exponent to a particular number. Let's take example like 2 power of let's take any number like 81. Okay, plus 5 power of 81. It is in the form of a power of n plus b power of n, but we don't have any that kind of formulas, right? So let's take another other number like 2 power of 81 plus 2 power of 81. Okay, it's like, or else 2 power of 91. We can change that. Now it is in the form of a power of m plus a power of n, but we don't have any formula regarding this, right? So let's suppose, let's change the sign. Even for minus also we don't have, so let's change to the multiplication here. So now if you see the indices, it is matching to the a power of m into a power of n, right? So then how can we solve this? A power of m plus n, which means 81 plus 91, which is 172. So with how like this you can solve by using all these formulas. Okay, and let's take other example like 2 power of 3 by 8. How it is? It is in the form of a power of m by n, right? So then how we can write that n into root over a power of m. So in this way we can use this all these formulas and then we can able to solve if any number having any powers or exponents, we can use these formulas and we can solve this equation. And please read all these topic, all these formulas. It's very important to solve any kind of like powers and all. And these are the very important formulas we already learned in our school days, like a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square, like a square minus b square, and a plus b whole cube, a minus b whole square. All these formulas are very important. Kindly please solve. We have a few more properties like cumulative property of addition and associative property of addition, and cumulative property of multiplication, same way associative property of multiplication, like distributive properties. So in cumulative property of addition we have like a plus b is equal to b plus c, right? In the same way associative property like a plus b plus c is equal to a plus b plus c. And the third one is for multiplication, it's a into b is equal to b into a. Let's take some values like a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3. If we do this, if we interchange the values like a is 3 into 2, we will get same answer. So with these properties also we can use like if it is required in any simplification of equations, okay, you can use it. Kindly please read all these things. If maybe there are many more, if you read all those things also, it is better for you to solve any kind of question.